Good morning, YouTube. My name is Lama Jigme Gyatso. This is the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Welcome to Gentle Zen's Prayer for Ethics. We'll begin by going into a share screen mode. This is, of course, the recitation and elucidation of that which was written by Tai Sheridan, a Soto Zen priest. I open myself to ethical conduct based on realizing that all people are my own Buddha body and true being. Now, upon reciting this the first time, you could very well ask, what the fuck does that mean? Glad you asked. Let's deal with the phrase Buddha body. When studying the Tao Te Ching for some time, it becomes evident the fool identifies him or herself with their mind and their body. However, the sage identifies him or herself with the minds and bodies of each being of each world. If that is the path we are on, if that is our goal, not only to do that, but to do it so well that we're able to do it spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively, and every living being, whether annoying or not, whether wise or not, whether kind or not, whether useful or not, is that which we will extend our identity towards. Therefore, all people are my potential Buddha body. Now, that leads us to the second thing, and true being. Now, let's consider your standard piano, which has 88 keys. The keys are there whether you play them or not. Therefore, it can be said that those keys exist in either potentiality, waiting to be struck, or actuality, currently being struck. Now consider our own inner mind. When we look at Buddhist psychology of the Alaya, or foundation consciousness, we come across the idea that within each human being is the seed or the potentiality of every emotion, every impulse that every human is capable of. I think the Beatles said it well in the song All You Need Is Love. There's nothing you can do that can't be done. There's nothing you can think that can't be thought. We could take that a step further. There's nothing you can feel that can't be felt. In other words, if you are exhibiting rage, I'm also capable of rage. If you are exhibiting the tendency to murder your own children, I have that homicidal potentiality as well. What's that? You say you can kill your own parents? I have the potential for patricide as well. What's that? You can perform an act of kindness to an abandoned animal? Yes, I also possess that potential for compassion. We all humans, all beings are drawing from the same palette. From a point of view of evolutionary biology, all the animals that we know of, all the quote-unquote great animals that we know of, have common ancestors. We all evolved, and you go further enough back in time, we evolved brain stems And therefore we are all capable of every impulse of the brainstem because we all have a brainstem. All of us mammals have midbrains. That means we are all capable of the same emotions, the same positive emotions, the same cooperative emotions. Therefore, all living beings, whether beautiful or ugly, lovely or annoying, helpful or hindering, are a potential greater identification of self. And they draw from the same emotional palette as we do. There's no atrocity of a sinner that we aren't capable of. There's no accomplishment of a saint that we are not capable of. In the Tao Te Ching, we read that the wise man views his enemy as the shadow that he himself casts. It's a mistake to view that from the secret point of view and think that your stinking thinking has made someone act that way. But the fact is, we are all capable of the same choices and behavior that our so-called enemy is already made and exhibiting. Let's continue. I am ready to speak. Oh, let's try that again. I am ready to speak and act with high regard for my own dignity and to respect myself when I interact with the world. In other words, to channel our Lisa Simpson rather than our Homer Simpson. Some Chinese would call this relying upon our Buddha nature. We could simply call it acting from love and wisdom. Now, the goal is not to get stuck in the harbor of contrivance, but to sail upon the sea of spontaneity. We, of course, neither want contrivance nor chaos. You want the middle ground of centered spontaneity, and that's why we meditate every morning and every evening, so that we can habitualize mindfulness and insight and the spontaneous love that they give rise to. I am ready to speak and act with clear awareness and high regard for the sacred dignity of all people and all forms of life. All forms of life, whether or not they have a midbrain, whether or not they have a brain stem, all forms of life, to the smallest microscopic entities, move away from pain and move towards pleasure. That unites all living beings. We're all the same in that respect. And as such, it behooves us to treat all living beings the way we would want to be treated. And all living beings, whether they walk or crawl or swim or fly. Yes, the vegan wants us to stop paying for the torture and murder of other living beings with our consumer dollars. I am ready to make a sincere effort to do no harm whenever possible each day in my brief life. Life does not last forever. So while we have it, let's use it to do good. Or to the very least, not to do harm. I open myself to ethical conduct based on realizing that all people are my own Buddha body and true being. There is an idea in contemporary Taoism of the immortal sage, and many fundamentalists have taken a literal interpretation of that and spent the last 1,000 years looking for a elixir of longevity. There's nothing wrong with living well. However, that's not what is meant. Immortality is not a literal phrase, but a figurative one. This body that carries our brain and consequently our consciousness is temporary. It will perish. But if we identify ourselves with the bodies of all living beings, of all worlds, then we're able to think with a big mind and emote with a big heart. It transcends our own personal profits and benefits and limitations. All beings are part of us. Just the brain would not say to the hand, I need you not. Let us not say to our neighbors, I need you not. And that, my friends, is all you get this morning. If you wish to participate in the next series of live weekly webinars, where you get to ask me questions in real time, and you get homework assignments, and you get to progress dramatically over the period of 16 lessons, then by all means register using the link below in the doodly-doo. May you and yours be healthy and happy. Everyone on YouTube, bye-bye.